copy of Old Tractors and the Men Who Love Them. I'd purchased it after a special request from Mr. Conway, who has since checked it out every couple of months. To look at the pictures, he said. And there he was. A big oaf of a man, slouched in the armchair I'd gotten from an estate sale after old Mrs. Friedman went to the great beyond. It should be noted that she passed away while sitting in said chair, but I thought that gave it character. I shrieked. The book slipped from my hand and landed with a thud on the floor. Shockingly, the man did not budge. Or at least, it didn't look like he did. It was hard to tell with the baseball cap pulled low on his forehead, dark hair peeking out around his ears. His jean-clad legs were stretched out and crossed at the ankles where he blocked the 750s, art and recreation. Everything about him seemed oversized, in a long, lean sort of way. The arm dangling to the side almost reached the floor. His enormous tennis shoe-clad feet. A hand the size of a dinner plate splayed across the open book on his chest. I didn't recognize him, and he seemed memorable by sheer size alone. Two Harts was a small dot on the Texas map, about 45 minutes west of Houston, and this library was the only one for 4 hours. I knew everyone who visited the library. I knew their reading tastes, their family tree, and, unfortunately for some, their internet search history. What bothered me the most was that he'd gotten in here without me noticing. This was exactly the reason I'd asked the city council to consider putting in one measly security camera, especially now I was here alone. After all, this man could be a criminal or violent or request to check out a copy of 50 Shades of Grey. The man shifted a bit, his hat moving enough to give me a glimpse of one dark eyebrow and a jawline dusted with at least a day or two of growth. From where I stood, he looked like he could use a shave and a haircut. But for all his scruffiness, he didn't appear dirty. Annoyed, I inched closer and nudged one of his giant feet. He didn't so much as flinch. My eyes narrowed on his chest to make sure he was still breathing. The last thing I needed was a dead guy in my library. Good news. Still alive. I cleared my throat. Excuse me. Nothing. Yet I was reminded of the millions of times I'd played hide-and-seek with my sister when she was very young and believed that if she kept her eyes shut and couldn't see me, I couldn't see her. Surely this grown man wouldn't be playing the same kind of silly game. After glaring at him for several seconds, I stomped to a small closet and retrieved a broom. Standing back as far as I could, I poked his arm. Hey, wake up! Library's closed. Still no reply. I stuck my hand on my hip, gripping the broom in the other like some kind of book witch. Ooh, book witch. I needed that on a t-shirt. The Duke's lips trailed along her cheekbone. His tongue traced the delicate shell of her ear. My phone read aloud. Oh, crap, I jolted, remembering the audiobook that had been playing the whole time. Fellows, you must stop, she protested, and then, belying her words, leaned into him. I'll be ruined if someone sees us. But she didn't pull away when his fingers began to touch. My heart racing, I tossed the broom and scrambled to get my phone from the cart. Frantically, I jabbed at the screen until the audio stopped. Now, why'd you go and do that? It was just getting interesting. A deep voice said, a touch of humor laced in his words. I gasped. My gaze darted to the man. Nothing about his position had changed, save for his eye, which was now open, and the corner of his mouth I could see was tilted up. For some reason, this half-smile irritated me. My spine straightened, and I whisper-screamed at him. Why are you sleeping in my library? It should be noted that all librarians learn to whisper-scream, and to shush people. Lazily, he stretched his arms, taking his baseball cap off to reveal a head of dark hair that was just a shade too long. It curled around his ears and dusted his forehead. The scruff on his face was equally dark. All of that should have made him look unkempt and messy. But it did not. Not at all. He gestured toward the book he now held in one hand. Sorry about that. Thought I'd do a little reading. My eyes darted to the book.